Chapter 2.3, linear functions. Okay, linear functions is a linear equation. So the graph of a linear equation is a straight line. A straight line. So x-axis, y-axis. Then this is the linear equation, right? So for each straight line, okay, whenever we have 2 points, then connect these 2 points, this will make a straight line, right? So let's say there are 2 points, and x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So if there are 2 points, then we can, then using this one, we can check rise over run. Okay, rise over run. So that means, okay, when we move from one point to the other point, we can either go horizontally or vertically. So in that case, we can go horizontally this much and then go vertically this much so that we can meet the second point. So we call this a slope. Okay, when there is a linear equation or linear function, it's really important to find the slope. The slope is, we call it rise over run. So the amount of rise divided by the amount of run. Okay, the rise means, okay, we can just calculate, subtract the y values. So let's say, okay, let me draw it here. This is x1, y1, and let's say this point is x2, y2. Then the x value is x1, the x value of the second point is x2, and the y value of the first point is y1, y value of the second point is y2. So from here, the rise means, okay, starting from, we can go up all the way up here. So this distance is y2 minus y1, right? This distance is y2 minus y1. And then from here, you can go horizontally to the right. So we can go up this much and horizontally to the right. And this horizontal distance is this much, right? This much. So that is x2 minus x1. So this is the rise, and this part is run. Okay. So rise is, we can write it y2 minus y1. Okay, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so let's say there are 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. So that we can subtract, y1 from y2 and subtract x1 from x2. All right, or also you can switch x1, y1, and y1 and y2. So you can write it y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Still okay. So once you start with 1, then both x and y must start with the first point. Okay, that is the slope. Sometimes, slope, we use small, lowercase m, that stands for slope. All right. So finding a slope is really important. So okay, let's say here is a straight line, and then there are many points on the line. The slope is the ratio of rise over run ratio. So slope from here to here, or here to here, or here to here, they are all same. Okay, because the ratio is the same. So as you move this much to the right, then this much up, the ratio is always same. So if we move longer horizontally, then the vertically is also longer. Okay? So slope is always the same. So this slope, they are all same. They are all what? Same slope. All right, then let's try an example. Okay, find the slope of the line passing through 2 points. So here's a point 1 and point 2. So we want to find the slope passing through this point. So let's say this is point 1 and this is point 2. Okay, so there is a line passing through this. So what is the slope? Okay, slope is what? Rise over run. Okay, rise over run. This is run, this is the rise. This is run, this is the rise. So the slope m equals rise over run. The rise is what? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's use as this P2. P2 is the x1, y1. So okay, so this will be x2, y2. And the point 1, let's use this x1, y1. All right. Then y2 minus y1 is 6 minus 2 over 3 minus 1. 4 over 2. So the slope is 2. Okay. Let's try another one. B. Okay. The first point is negative 3 and 4. The second point is 1 and negative 2. So from here, let's find the slope. The slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so y2. So I will use the first point as x1, y1, and the second point is x2, y2. So y2 is negative 2 minus y1 is 4 over 1 minus negative 3. Okay, the negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. This 1 plus 3, so negative 6 over 4. So the slope is negative 3 over 2. Okay. If the slope, look at this, if the slope is positive, that means the right end goes up. If the slope is negative, then the right end goes down. Okay, so from here, rise over run. Okay, let me explain it again. Okay, x-axis, y-axis, right? So the right end goes up, then this means the slope is positive. The slope is positive. If the right end goes down, okay, for example, like this, then for this, the slope is negative. Okay, negative. All right. Look at this. So from here, once you go from here to here, you go up, right? Up. So up is positive. Run is positive. As you go to the right, then the rise is positive. Going up is positive. And then going to the right means run is also positive. If you go down, then it looks like this. Okay, rise over run. Rise. If you go down, then the rise is negative. And then go to the right, then run is positive. Okay, so in this case, slope is rise over run, right? Rise over run. So when you go up, then rise is plus. When you go to the right, run is plus. So the answer will be positive. Now for this one, the slope is, okay, run is, if you go down, then run is negative. And then, rise is negative. Going right is positive. So the slope will be negative. Or you can go this way. Let's try this. Okay, you can go from this point to this. You can go horizontally first. Okay, not like, okay. Let's go from second point to the first point. So in that case, you can go down first, right? Down. So the slope is, go down is negative, right? And then go left. Left is negative. So run is negative. So negative over negative is positive. Okay, so if the right end goes up, then the slope is positive. How about this? Okay, I want to go from here to here. So go up. So up is what? Positive. And go left. The left is what? Negative. So the result is negative. So if the line goes down, then the slope is negative. Okay, so in this case, the slope is negative. In this case, the slope is positive. Okay, then how about the slope of horizontal line and the vertical line? So here's horizontal line, right? So for the slope, we can set 2 points. Let's say this is x1, y1. Then this will be x2, y2, right? In that case, since the horizontal line, this one has the same y value, right? y1 and y2 are the same value, right? y1 and y2 are the same value. So the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But since y1 and y2 are the same, isn't it 0? y1 is equal to y2, right? So the numerator becomes 0, 0, right? So if there's a horizontal line, then the slope is always 0, always 0. Okay, don't forget the horizontal line, then the slope is always 0, always 0. Okay, how about vertical line? So this is a vertical line. Vertical line. So let's find out, let's check 2 points. Okay, let's say this is x equals 1, then y is, for the vertical line, always the x value is the same, isn't it? Always the x value is the same because it's a vertical line, same x value. Vertical line share the same x value. Right? Okay, let me draw it again. Okay, here's x-axis, y-axis. Okay, look at the horizontal line. Okay, this horizontal line, let's say this one is, the y value is 3. So let's say this is 2, this is 1. And then look at this point. The coordinate of this point is x equals 2, y is 3. The coordinate of this point is x equals 1 and y is 3. The y values are the same. So the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is 0 over 1 is 0, right? 0. Okay, how about the vertical line? Still the same. Still the same. So here is the x-axis, y-axis. Then draw a vertical line. Okay, let me draw a vertical line like this. And then the x value, let's say x value is 2. Then let's make these 2 points. So let's say this is 2 and this is 4. Okay, let's say this is 1. Okay, 1 and 4. All right, then what is the slope? The slope is, okay, the coordinate of this one is x equals 2, y is 1. The coordinate of the second point is x is 2, y is 4. Always the vertical line shares the same x value. So the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Look at this. The denominator is 0, right? Denominator. So if the denominator is 0, then the slope is undefined. Okay. So the vertical line, for the vertical line, the slope is always what? Undefined, because the denominator will become 0. Okay. This is really important. Don't get confused. All right, undefined. So the slope of the horizontal line is 0, vertical line is undefined. So let me summarize this. So if a line goes up, okay, so like this, then the slope is what? Slope is positive. If the line goes straight in horizontal, then the slope is what? 0. Slope is 0. If the line goes down, then what's the slope? The slope is negative. Going down, negative. Horizontal is 0. Okay, how about the vertical line? Then the slope is what? Undefined. All right, so let's keep in mind these 4 cases. All right, then let's check the equation of horizontal line. Okay, equation of these 4 different lines. Okay, if for example, y equals equation of a line whose slope is positive, then it looks like this: 2x plus 1. Okay, that means this one has 2 variables, x and y, and the coefficient of x is, this one is positive. This is positive. Okay, if the slope is negative, then it looks like this. If the slope is negative, then we can write the equation y equals negative 2x plus 1, something like this. So that the coefficient of x is, this is negative. Okay, and then if the slope is 0, okay, slope 0 means Okay, here's y equals mx plus b, mx plus something like that. And this is 0. Okay, actually the coefficient of x is the slope. So this part is 0, so we can write it something like y equals 1. There's no x variable. There's no x variable at all. So horizontal line, equation of horizontal line is y equals the y value. And that the vertical, for the equation of a vertical line is, this time, there's no x variable. The vertical line goes through the x-axis, right? So you got the x, there is x value. So x value is always the same. So the equation of the vertical line is x equals, the x value. For example, 1, something like this. Can you see it? So it's really important, very important. If a line is going up or going down, then there are x variable and y variable. There are two variables. Y equals, something x plus, constant number. Okay, if horizontal line, if a horizontal line, there's a horizontal line, then what is the slope? Slope is 0. And the equation of the horizontal line is y equals the y value. Equation of vertical line is x equals the x value. Okay. All right, so when we write an equation, we will write it as this one: y equals mx plus b, mx plus b, and then this equation is called the slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form. What do I mean by this? The slope-intercept form. Okay, slope-intercept form means, okay, m. This is the slope. Okay, and if x equals 0, right? If x equals 0, then what happens? Then y equals m times 0 plus b, right? So y equals b. So this means if x equals 0, then y is b. So this is the x-intercept, isn't it? Oh, sorry, y-intercept. Y-intercept. Okay, so x equals 0, then we got y equals b. So this b value is the y-intercept, y value of the y-intercept. So this b is the y value of the y-intercept. Can you see it? So when x equals 0, y is b. So slope-intercept form is really simple. Y equals, write down y and then equals mx plus b. The slope comes first, and then b is the y value of the y-intercept. All right. So y equals mx plus b. So whenever you have slope, then you can replace this m with the slope value, and then b is the y-intercept. Okay, so don't forget this information. This is one of the form that we can write a linear equation. All right, then let's try example 2. Okay, graph. We want to graph f of x equals 2x minus 1. All right, as we see this, the slope is what? Slope is 2, right? This is the slope. And then negative 1 is the y-intercept, right? Y-intercept. Okay, so when we graph it, if x equals 0, what is y value? Look at this. If x equals 0, then 2 times 0 minus 1 equals negative 1, right? So if x equals 0, then y is negative 1. This is y-intercept, isn't it? Y-intercept. Y-intercept. So x equals 0, then y is negative 1. All right. So we have 1 point. And then using the slope, get the slope, m equals 2, right? 2. So 2 means 2 over 1. This means the numerator is the amount you go up, right? Rise over run. This is run. So positive 2 means go 2 units up. So starting from this point, I want to go 2 units up. So 1, 2 unit up, 2 units up, right? and then 1 unit right. So 2 up, 1 right. Right? So let's say this one, so 1 right. So the second point should be here, and then connecting these two smoothly is the graph. Can you see it? X, Y. All right, so this is how we can graph it. So make sure to find one point. So from the point, move rise over run. Okay, then there's the second point. So from the second point and one point, the first point, connect. That is the graph. Let's try another one. Example 3. Okay, now also we want to graph 3x plus 2y equals 4. This is a linear equation because variable x and variable y, variable x has an exponent 1, right? Okay, so here's x-axis, then y-axis. Okay, so what is the slope in this case? Okay, let's rewrite it so that we can find the slope. Then 2y equals, minus 3x both sides. Then divide each side by 2. So negative 3 over 2x plus 4 over 2 is 2, right? All right, then this is the slope, right? Slope is negative 3 over 2, right? And then this is the y-intercept. That means when x equals 0, y is 2. So when x equals 0, y is 2, right? 2. So we are here. And then slope. So this is the rise, right? Rise. And this is run. So rise means negative 3, isn't it? This is negative 3. So we can move. So move 3 units down. 3 units down. And the run is 2 units right. Okay, so move 3 units down. So 1, 2, 3 down, right? 3 down. And then 2 units right. So 1, 2. So move 2 units right. So this is the second point. And then connect 2 points. All right, so this is the graph of this one. Or, we just used y-intercepts and slope to graph this linear equation. But is there any other way to graph it? Yes, you can use x-intercept or y-intercept. You can find x-intercept and y-intercept and connect, right? Okay, or we can find x-intercept. How do you find x-intercept? Set y value equal to 0. So here is 3x. Here's 3x plus 2y equals 4. Okay, I'm going to use a different method. Okay, different method to draw a graph. Okay, different method is this. So x equals 0, that means, y equals 0. So that is 3x plus 0 equals 4. So x equals what? 4 over 3, right? 4 over 3. So x is 4 over 3. Okay, so when y equals 0, x is 4 over 3. So this is 1, this is 2. So 4/3. 4/3 is maybe somewhere around here, right? Around here. And then let's find y-intercept. So to find y-intercept, you can set x value equal to 0. Then you can find the y value. So since y equals 0, since x equals 0, so 0 plus 2y is 4. Then y equals 2, right? So x equals 0, then y equals 2. X equals 0, y is 2. So that you can connect these 2 points. All right. So you can find any 2 points. So in this case, we can use x-intercept and the y-intercept and connect those 2 points. Or you can rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form. And then plot the y-intercept, and then use the slope, so go rise and run to find the second point. So still that is okay. Okay, then there's another form of a linear equation that is called point slope form. Okay, point slope form is this. Okay, here is a line, and this line is passing through a point x1 and y1, and the slope. Okay, the slope is, let's say, okay, the slope is m. Okay, m is the slope. Okay, then we can write an equation in slope intercept form. That is very simple. Okay, y minus y1. Okay, here it is y. Okay, write down y and then minus 1. Okay, so y minus y1. Okay, y minus y1. This value equals m times x minus x1. That's it. This is the slope. This is the point slope formula. Okay, point slope form. So this is the slope, and this, and then x1 and y1. Okay, x1 and y1 are what? Point, right? Point. Okay, so we use this point slope form many times to find an equation. Okay, to write an equation, okay, we can use point slope form or slope intercept form. Slope intercept form. So we can use either these two forms. Okay, in this example, let's find the linear equation when the slope is -3 and the equation passes through the point -1 and 4. So here is a point -1 and 4. And the slope is negative, so it should go down, right? It should go down something like this. Okay, so the slope is -3. So using the point and the slope, let's write an equation. So in that case, we can use, let's use both form, okay, both point slope form and the point slope form. All right, so this is really important. Okay, when we write an equation, write a linear equation, always, okay, always a linear equation requires two items. Okay, two items. These two items are what? Slope and point. Okay, x1, y1, always. So if slope is not given, you have to find out what the slope of the line is, always. If point is not given, you have to find the point. But usually points are given. Point is given, but slope is not given. All right, usually. But in this case, already the slope is given and point is given, right? So everything is given, so we can just use, let's first use point slope formula. Point slope form. Let's use this point slope form to write an equation. All right, so the point slope form is this one, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, right? And then y minus x1 and y1 are the coordinates of the given point. x1, this is y1. So y1 is 4, they replace m with -3, x minus x1 is -1, so -1, like this. Then x minus 4 equals -3 times x plus 1, then distribute -3x minus 3, and then plus 4 each side, so that y equals -3x plus 1. So this is the equation. So if you graph this equation, then this graph will pass through this point, -1 and 4, and the slope is -3. As you see this, -3 is the slope, right? -3 is the slope, and if we plug in -1 for x, then y value will be 4, right? 4. Okay, let's use slope intercept form. Slope intercept form. Where this one should give us the same linear equation. Okay, slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and then we're gonna plug in m first. So slope is -3, so -3x plus b. And then we want to find the y-intercept b. So we need a value for x and y. So in that case, for x and y, we will use the given point. negative 1 and 4. Okay, negative 1 and 4. So use negative 1 for x and then 4 for y. All right. So y is 4 and x is negative 1 plus b. We're looking for the b value. So 4 equals 3 plus b, and the minus 3 each side. So 1. b equals 1, right? b equals 1. So back to this equation. Y equals negative 3x. We found b value. B is 1. So this is the equation of the line passing through negative 1 and 4 with the slope negative 3. Okay. All right, this example, okay, we want to find the equation of the line passing through 2 points. The slope is not given. So in order to find the slope, in order to find the equation of the line, we need 2 things, right? 2 items. The first item is what? Slope. We need slope, right? Slope and what? Point. We need a slope and point. So there are 2 points already given. So we can use either of this point. Anyone is fine, but slope is not given. So in that case, we need to find slope. Okay, find the slope first. Okay, first we need to find the slope. Okay, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So since there are 2 points, let's use this is x1, y1. Second point is x2, y2. All right, then the slope will be y2 is negative 1 minus y1 over x2 minus y1. Okay, then negative 5 over 2 plus 2 is 4. So the slope is negative 5 over 4, right? All right, so a point. Okay, which point do you want to use? Any point is okay, any point. So let's use 2 and negative 1. It doesn't matter, anything is fine. Okay, then we can use either point slope formula or slope intercept formula. Okay, let's use point slope formula. Point slope formula, right? Form. Let's use this formula. All right, then y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then in this case, okay, we're going to use this point. So x1 will be 2 and y1 will be negative 1, right? So y minus y1 is negative 1, m is negative 5 over 4, and then x minus x1. x1 is 2, right? 2. Then y plus 1 equals, now distribute, plus times 2, right? So y plus 1 equals negative 5/4 x plus, reduce it, 5/2. And the minus 1 each side. Okay, minus 1 each side. So y equals negative 5/4 x. And then, okay, negative 1 is 2 over 2, right? 2 over 2. So 3 over 2. So this is the equation that satisfies an equation passing through 2 points. All right. Okay, let's try another one. We can use any formula. So let's use this time slope intercept formula. Slope intercept form. All right. Then the form is y equals mx plus b. I'm doing the same thing. Okay, the slope is what? Negative 5 over 4 plus b. And in this case, we're going to use the point 2 and negative 1, right? So x will be 2, y will be negative 1. So replace this y with negative 1, and then x with 2. Then negative 1 equals negative, reduce it, 5 over 2, right? So negative 1 plus 5 over 2 equals b. Then 2 over 2, this is 2 over 2, so we got 3 over 2. So b value is 3 over 2, so that if you rewrite the equation, then y equals negative 5 over b, 5 over x, And then b is 3 over 2. So plus 3 over 2. Okay. So we use two different forms. One is point slope formula. The other one is slope intercept formula. And using these two, we got the same equation. So in this question, 2 points are given, right? So a line is passing through 2 points. Then what is the equation of the line? How do you find it? First, we need two items, slope and point. Since the slope is not given, we have to find it. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, next definition is the relationship between parallel lines and the perpendicular lines. The slope of parallel lines. Okay, two lines are parallel, then we use the parallel symbol like this. So let's check this. So here's the line 1, okay, line 1. Here's another line, line 2. And we say the two lines are parallel. Line 1 and line 2 are parallel if the slope of the first line, and let's say this is the slope of the second line. If the slope of the first and the second line are the same, then we say two lines are parallel. So if two lines are parallel, then we can say what? The slope of the first line and the slope of the second line are the same. Simple, isn't it? Simple. Okay, how about the perpendicular lines? So look at this. I have one line here, line 1, and perpendicular line means this is 90 degrees. Okay, so line 2. So if the slope, let's say the slope of the first line is a over b, something like this, a over b, then the slope of the second line is, okay, the first line is going up, in this case positive, right? Then the perpendicular line is 90 degrees. Then the slope, the sign is negative because one is going up, then perpendicular line is going down. So the slope has to be negative, right? Negative. And then what we do is switch this numerator and denominator, b and a. Okay. So if you know a slope of a line, then the slope of the perpendicular line is what? Change the sign of the slope and then make it reciprocal. Or you can also find what happens if we multiply both slopes. So slope 1 times slope 2. Then look at this. A over b is the slope 1, and second slope is negative b over a, right? Then this one all cancel out, becomes negative 1. See it? So we can also conclude that two lines are perpendicular if the product, okay, if the product of two slope is equal to negative 1, then what? Two lines are perpendicular. Or you can check like this, or slope of one is negative reciprocal of the other slope. Okay, then two lines are perpendicular. All right, and if two slopes are the same, then what is it? Two lines are parallel. Okay, so using this information, let's do some exercise. Okay, now let's find the equation of the line. Okay, whose graph is parallel? Parallel to this equation, right? So the equation of this line is, let's say this is L1. Then this line is L2, right? L2. And L1 also passes through this point. Okay, this is a point, right? Point. All right. So, okay, we need to find the slope of line 1. Okay, slope of the line 1. How do you find the slope of the line 1? Since it's parallel, right? Parallel. So line 1 is parallel to line 2. This means the slope of line 1 should be equal to the slope of line 2. So let's find the slope of the line 2. So here, line 2 is what? 2x minus 3y is equal to 7. So from here, in order to find the slope, change this one into what? Okay, slope intercept form. Okay, slope intercept form. Okay, which means we're going to rewrite it so that the equation looks like this, mx plus b. Then this will be the slope, right? So rewrite it. So minus 2x each side, then negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 7. Then divide each side by negative 3. Okay, divide each side by negative 3, the 7 over negative 3. Then y equals 2 over 3x minus 7 over 3. So from this, what is the slope? From this is the slope, the slope of the second line. The slope of the second line. So M2 is 2 over 3. So what is M1? M1 is M2, right? M2. So M2 is 2 over 3, right? 2 over 3. So we found the slope of the first line. So in order to write an equation of the line 1, we need the slope, right? Slope. So this is the slope. And then we need a point. Okay, what point? Let's use the given point. Okay, this one. So we found the slope, and we're going to use the given point. All right. And then use point slope formula. So use the point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So in this case, negative 6 will be used for x1. Negative 2 will be y1, right? So y minus y1 equals m. M is 2/3 times x minus x1, which is negative 6. And then simplify each side. So 2/3 x, that is plus 6. So y plus 2 equals, now distribute. Then 6 over 3 is 2, right? So it is 4. So minus 2 each side. Then y equals 2/3 x plus 2. So this is the equation that satisfies the information. So the equation of the line, so this equation is parallel to the given equation, and then this line passes through the point negative 6 and negative 2. All right. Okay, how about, can we use slope-intercept formula to find the equation? Yes, you can do it. So you can try. Okay, then let's try next one. Okay, the slope of the given lines. Okay, a line is already given. The given line. So let's say this is line 1. So the slope of line 1 is 4/3. And the slope of a line, okay, this is line 2. This is line 2. Let's say this is what? Line 2. So line 2 is perpendicular to the given line, L1. So the slope of the line 2, so M2, isn't it? M2 is the negative reciprocal of this. So this one is the M2, slope of the second line, right? Then use the point slope formula to write an equation. So look at this. The slope is M2. So M2 is negative 3 over 4. And this line, the line 2 passes through this point. Okay, so let's use point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. In this case, so what is the slope? The slope is negative 3 over 4. And what's the point? x1, y1 is negative 4 and 1, right? So let's plug in these numbers. So y minus y1 equals m is 3/4, x minus x1. x1 is negative 4. And then simplify. So x plus 4, right? Then y minus 1 equals negative 3 over 4x. And then minus 4 cancel out, becomes 3. So plus 1 each side. Then makes y equals negative 3/4 x minus 2. So this is the equation. Okay, example 7 is there are a bunch of data given, x value, y value. The swing speed is x value, and the carrying distance is the y value. So we will pick up 2 points, and we will use these 2 points to find the slope in order to write the equation. All right, so let's find the slope first. Slope is rise over run, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 283 minus 215 over 109 minus 90. Then this will be 68 over 19, right? Then this one, the slope is approximately 3.6. All right, so we found the slope of 2 points. So that from this one, let's use a point slope formula to write an equation. Okay, so use what? Point slope formula. Use the point slope formula. Point slope formula, right? Formula. So that is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, then let's use, which point do you want to use? We can use anything. Why don't we use the smaller number? Okay, let's use this number. Okay, this number, at this point. So 90 will be x1, 215 will be y1, right? And then we already found the slope. This is the slope, right? Slope. Okay. So y minus 215 equals 3.6 times x minus x1. All right. Then y minus 215 equals 3.6x minus 109. Right? Oh, sorry, not 109. It's the answer. $200. All right, then this is 324, and then plus 215 each side. Then y equals 3.6x minus 109, right? 109. So we found the equation. So when x value is given, we can find y. The y is the carrying distance. All right, then letter B. Okay, the next question is this one. Okay, if the swing speed is 120 miles per hour, then what is the carrying distance? So we can use 120 for x, and then we will find y. So y, can use the formula that we just found from letter A. So from this, let's plug in 120 for x. So y equals 3.6 times 120 minus 109. Then y equals, okay, so use this one, then it comes up with 323. So y is the carrying distance in feet. So write down feet. All right. Okay, the last question is, not the last one. Okay, next question is this one. Okay, when you manufacture a calculator, then the total cost will be $180,000 plus $27 per item, per calculator manufactured. So the total cost will be, if you produce X number of calculators, then the total cost will be 180,000 plus 27x, right? How about the revenue? Okay, when you sell calculator, then the price will be $59 per calculator. So if you sell X number of calculators, then the total revenue will be 59 times X, right? Then what's the profit? Okay, the profit is revenue minus the cost. So the profit will be revenue. So let's write the revenue. Revenue is 59x, right? This is the total revenue, 59x, minus the cost. The cost is 180,000 minus plus 27x. Okay, then rewrite it. So 59x minus 800,000 minus 27x. Then this is equal to 22 32x minus 180,000. So this is the formula for the profit. All right, then the next question is, in this case, x has to be what? X is the number of calculators produced. So it's got to be greater than or equal to 0, right? Greater than or equal to 0. So x cannot be a negative number. And also x is an integer, right? Integer. All right, and then how about the break-even point? Okay, break-even point is there's no profit, no loss, or no gain, right? No profit or no, nothing. So break even. So that the revenue and the cost will be the same, right? So we set the revenue and the cost same so that we can find the number of calculators so that, they are the same. So let's find the number of calculators so that there is a break even, no loss or no gains. All right, then R of x is 59x, right? And the total cost is 180,000 plus 27x. So from here, let's find x. Then minus 27 each side. Minus 27x each side. So it will be 32x equals 180,000. Then divide each side by 32. Okay, then x equals 5,625. So if you produce 5,625 calculators, and then sell all this number of calculators, then there will be a break even. All right, this is the last question. This is kind of a little bit complicated. So look at this. There is the purple line. There's a purple line, and the equation is given like this. Y equals x plus 12. And then the point B. Okay, this point. So there is a line going through this purple line. So that we want to find this point. Okay, this point. All right, so the point P is given 4 and 3. So in order to find this one, okay, we need to find the equation. We need to find this one, the equation of the blue line. Let's say this is line 1. Okay, line 1. We need to find the line 1. Okay, let's say this is line 2. All right. So once we find the line 1, equation of line 1, and then we can set line 1 and line 2. Okay, line 1 and line 2 so that we can find the intersection, this point. Okay, this is what we're going to find out. All right, so in order to find the line 1, okay, we need point and the slope. Already the blue line passing through this point, right? So we need to find the slope. And the slope of the line 1, the slope of line 1 should be equal to what? Is it perpendicular to the black line? 0p? This one, right? So this will be the slope of negative reciprocal of what? Slope of the black line. So what is the slope of the black line? Okay, that is rise over 1, right? Rise over 1. So look at this. The x value is 4, y value is 3. So this is 4 and this is 3, right? Because the point P is 4 and 3. So the slope of the black line is 3 over 4. Can you see it? So that the slope of blue line, line 1, is what? Negative reciprocal. So 4 over 3. All right. So from here, line 1. So for the line 1, let's find the equation of the line 1. So we need the slope, which is negative 4/3, and then point. So the point is the point P, isn't it? Point P. So the point P is 4 and 3. So using these two items, let's find the slope of the blue line. So y minus y1, use the point slope formula, equals m times x minus x1. Then y minus 3 equals m is negative 4/3 x minus x minus x1. x1 is 4. All right, then y minus 3 equals negative 4/3 third x, and then plus 16 over 3. So, okay, let's keep trying. Y equals now negative 4 third x plus 16 over 3 plus 3, isn't it? Plus 3, because we're going to move this one to the right. Then y equals negative 4 third x plus, okay, this is 9 over 3. Okay, multiply, okay, 9 over 3. Okay, this is 9 over 3, right? 9 over 3, so 25 over 3. All right, so we got the second equation of the second line, right? So we want to make now line 1. Okay, line 1 equals line 2, so that we can find the intersection. At this point, we can find this point. So the line 1, equation of the line 1 is what? Okay, line 1, okay, the equation of the line 1 is y equals x plus 12, right? Okay, let me rewrite it. Okay, this is line 1. And line 2 is, all right, so we're going to let these two equations the same. So we're going to let line 1 and line 2 are the same. So why don't we write x plus 12 is equal to negative 4 third x plus 25 over 3. So from this, let's find x. Okay, so why don't we multiply the equation by 3 so that we can remove the denominator 3. So I'm going to multiply everything by 3. So this will be 3x plus 36 equals negative 4x plus 25. And then move minus 4x to the left. Okay, 4x plus 4x plus 4x. Then we have the left-hand side is 7x plus 36 equals 25. And then minus 36. So 7x equals 11, negative 11. Then x equals negative 11 over 7. So look at this. The coordinate, the coordinate of this intersection is x value is negative 11 over 7. So from here, let's use line 1. Okay, line 1. Line 1 is y equals x plus 12, right? So from this, let's find y by using this x value. Negative 11 over 7 plus 12. Then y equals negative 11 over 7 plus, okay, multiply 12 by 7, 84. So y equals 73 over 7, right? So the coordinate, the intersection of the blue line and the purple line is what? When x is negative 11 over 7, the y coordinate is 73 over 7. So that's the intersection. Too complicated, right? Okay, that's it for this section.